Hi, everyone. I'm just going to adjust this real quick. So this story is about relationships, but platonic relationships. So we're going to be in the clear for this one, y'all. First off, I want everyone to know that I'm a visionary tech founder in my head. That's why I'm reading off an iPhone. So, friendship is something we all understand and feel we have a firm grasp on, despite the unique intricacies that vary from person to person, friend to friend. Of course, there are degrees of friendship we assign to those in our lives, and those people assign the same degrees to us. Our friendships with people tend to run the gamut from casual acquaintance to good buddy to dude I get drugs from, and all the way to BFF. But these classifications can be in constant flux due to behavior, life choices, and even proximity. For instance, you bump into an acquaintance at a bar you met a few weeks ago, so you nod a hello or shake hands. Then maybe 2 days later, you see them again somewhere and make stupid remarks to each other like, "Are you stalking me or something?" You giggle, maybe slap a high five, and then go about your separate business. 4 days after that, you run into each other again on the street while you're headed to the corner store for a pack of smokes, and bam! Your friendship status is instantly upgraded. You greet one another, you have a brief but genuine conversation, and you make plans later that night for a drink. Your casual acquaintance slides up the scale to drinking buddy, and from there, who knows where it could go. There are some friends that we have that can instantly jump all those steps in between and land in our coveted BFF category, despite what stage the friendship is in. Sometimes when this happens, it's due to an intangible energy that draws you together and can't be explained. But other times, it happens because of a significant shared experience wholly unique to only the two of you. This is a story of friendship birthed from one of those shared experiences. Sometime back, I was in the process of finally moving into town after living north of the city for a couple of years too long. My then wife and I were staying in an apartment for a couple of months while finding a house and dealing with all the dumb bullshit that goes along with that. Chris was my friend at the time. Much more than acquaintance since we worked together and would on occasion socialize out of work with other friends we had in common. We were definitely cool with each other, but we were nowhere near the BFF level, at least not yet. Chris already lived in town with his girlfriend, who would later become his wife. Congratulations, Chris. And at work, we had thrown around the idea of drinking together since I lived closer to him now. After volleying the notion around for a week or two, we decided to make it happen and planned on meeting up that night. Outside of that, we had no plan or even idea of where we wanted to go, but we determined all conditions were perfect for a classic boys' night out. We started the night roaming from place to place with no agenda, except to get drunk. And we were well on our way. A few hours flew by in a blur, and suddenly we found ourselves at Catbirds, sipping suds and watching The Simpsons on one of those tiny TVs. Which is great because we both deeply love The Simpsons. This was a classic 10th season gem called Mom and Pop Art Show, which is only relevant to the story because in it, the wimpy, weakling Dorcas Millhouse utters one of his most famous lines. Everything's coming up, Millhouse! I consider these words to live by in the same sense as the dude abides or may the force be with you. You know, I slurred to Chris, the booze undeniably working its debilitating effects on my brain. If I got a Simpsons tattoo, it'd be Millhouse. He's such an unsung hero, you know? Chris suddenly slammed his fist down on the bar, startling myself and a few other patrons. Let's get Millhouse tattoos right now! He said with an authoritative tone not often heard from my soft-spoken pal, and it let me know that we were definitely getting Millhouse tattoos. And so, my friends, that is exactly what we did. Luckily, we were on Westheimer. So we could stumble out of catbirds, throw a rock, and quite literally hit a tattoo parlor. That part was easy. Next, we had to explain to the tattooist, who we knew, that we wanted 2 different Millhouse tattoos. So you guys want matching tattoos? He asked. Again, we explained that they wouldn't be matching, they would just both be of Millhouse. A few Google searches, some sketching, and another trip or 2 across the street for a quick beer later, and we were ready to go. For the next 4.5 hours, we got tattooed. Chris first, and then myself. As the hours went by and our buzz made the smooth transition into blinding headache, we still felt no regret for what we were doing. When it was all said and done, we each had a distinctly different Millhouse on our arms, with distinctly different banners encircling them, featuring a prominent Millhouse quote. Neither of us used the line that inspired the whole tattoo rendezvous, since we both wanted it. But again, we weren't getting matching tattoo. Mine said Thrill House. Reference to the Bone Storm episode. Chris's said, "Bury me at Makeout Creek." From when Bart became a faith healer that one time. We left there sore, hungover, but satisfied. And got home around 5:30 in the morning. We were both working at Starbucks. And by the time we got to work the next day, word had spread amongst the staff and customers that Chris and I had got matching tattoos. We protested vehemently, showing everyone how unmatching they were, but we made no traction against what had already been set in their minds. And you know what? We were okay with it. Regardless of what anyone thought about what we had done, it was our adventure, and a moment that forever solidified us as best friends. Best friends forever, even. It's indelible moments like these that define friendships and dictate the people you want and need to have in your life. Chris and I play in a band together now, and have actually gone on to get 2 more tattoos together that do actually match, but fuck it! That's what best friends do! Also, my wife got really mad at me for doing something she deemed dumb and impulsive, but we're divorced now, so no big whoop, the end.